I was saying, this was like my style for tonight. It's looking real G. Well, first it was a Jason A video, and they were teasing me about 8 cylindrical structures found under the pyramids in Giza. And then and then it was all over like Alex Jones' InfoWars. And I know that's like a tabloid, a lot of that is bullshit. And it was, the same shit, like underground city, Aminte found under the, I should have known better. So I grok 3'd it, so there's deep search, which is a deep dive, and then there's think, which is more like solving like a complex math or science problem, right? So you would use think if you wanted to calculate something. I think you could ask it. I think with Grok 3 you could ask similar questions to think and deep search, but they're a bit different. So there was a find under the pyramids of Giza in 2023, an L-shaped. There was a hit underneath the pyramids, leading like a chamber to a tomb, something like that. But there was no underground city of the dead. So, as I was hoping, as they were teasing the underground city of the dead with the Book of the Dead, and the passageway to the underworld, but unfortunately, that's not what it was. I guess my generation, they grew up with Indiana Jones, the archaeologist, the fictional one, and Harrison Ford and George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and so on. And it's like kind of like a dream if ancient civilizations, there was a link to the future or a link to the present. And So there's no lost city of the dead or lost city of the underworld or Aminte underneath the Great Pyramids of Giza, as far as we know. Yet we don't know what they're going to discover, really. So. No, I don't believe in Anunnaki, and like Prometheus type shit. That all the ancient civilizations of the world are connected to alien visitors or ancient alien theory or anything. It's fun to think about, but I mean, I guess that's kind of the allure of archaeology itself, is that, what if there's some lost connection to some lost knowledge out there on the earth? And so that's what probably, I would suspect most of archaeology is mundane, mapping, learning ancient things, and it's mundane and arcane. And then, you know, a lot of these sites, they're like old ancient things you dig up, and there's smells bad, and there's bad viruses and bacteria, and most of it stinks. And it's not as glamorous as Indiana Jones. It's a very serious show and tedious. And I'm not saying that archaeology can't be exciting, of course, when there's a new discovery or something, but still, um, it's a science of rules, right? It's it's a field. Yeah, so it is very fascinating. Ah. It's like one day the archaeologists, they find like the ancient Egyptian orgy chamber, the pleasure chamber. Oh yeah, no, it's like a brothel down there. It's like the underworld. It's like a beer and like a titty bar. They found like the ancient titty bars. This is thy ancient titty bar. The ancient strip club. The ancient Egyptian strip club. No, I don't know. You know, maybe I've seen videos on ancient Egyptian gods and mythology, and I've seen Dr. Jordan Peterson's videos on Osiris and Horus and Thoth and these characters. I'm not really an expert on Ra or Thoth or Anubis. I just know what people have seen, you know, like in the movies when I was working at AMC Gold Point 30 back in the day, in 1999. The Mummy came out, you know, and it. So for the promotion for the Mummy, they brought this big dump truck full of sand, and I remember going out there, and they were gonna build a pyramid out of the sand, and so that is dump truck coming to the courtyard of this 30 screen, you know, multiplex theater in South Houston. And it was just like, it was funny because it just dumped the sand, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna build a pyramid, but then the weather was bad, and then it didn't work out, so it just was kind of like one big fuck up, I guess. The weather was not cooperating, in other words. They should have just, for the promotion, they should have just built mini pyramids and just shipped them off to us. Like built mini pyramids. That would have been cool. Yeah. Or it's been theorized that the ancient Egyptians found out the secret to the universe was, as Nikola Tesla once said, the secret to the universe in myth is 3, 6, and 9. If you understand these numbers and the significance, then you will hold the key to the universe. That's his direct quote, or paraphrase, but more or less the same. Nikola Tesla. Yeah, he was mostly buried from history because of Thomas Alva Edison. Yeah, unfortunately. So they might teach not that they might teach Nikola Tesla now. They might not teach. I don't know. Do they teach that at school now? They teach the magic of the belch. They have belching 101. Drunken belching. It's a popular course at the university. Yeah. Popular course though. Intoxicated belching. A fine human endeavor indeed. Yeah, time for that elixir. Should I roll up to the stove with my hat backwards to the sideways? Let's roll up to the stove. Rolling up to the stove. Going to the stove. The food stove. It's like kind of ominous for going to the food stove. Head to the food stove. Head to the food stove. Do a happy song. So, the United States of America fell to low happiness levels compared to other countries. But Finland once again secured the top spot of the happiest nations in the world. I kind of thought about that today, like happiness. What is that? Yeah, that was kind of deep because they always have these happiness rankings. So what does that mean? Like, I guess you can break it down into sectors. I suppose you could break it down into sectors like affordability, healthcare, mental health care, mental care, well-being. I guess that's another word for health, is well-being. Income, purchasing power, civility, loneliness, depression, suicide, crime. Yeah, and I guess you can go down the list. Family ties, friends, blah, blah, blah. I guess the Finnish don't finish last. Yeah. Yeah, I always wondered about that. Do they have some hot babes in Finland? I know it's a cold-ass country bordering Russia, but they probably have some Finnish babes. Those Nordic babes are notoriously hot, right? For such a cold environment. I know how they keep warm. Wah, wah. You know what I mean? Fire. Yeah, right. Electricity. Yeah. Okay. Heaters. My allergies came back. There was unusually historic oak tree pollen today in Houston, Texas. And I think my allergy pill wore off because then I started sneezing and then congestion and watery eyes, and so I was like, it's fucking back. Oh well. It is what it is. No, it should be like. Well, we can work out how the song sounds later. Well, how the jam is gonna go. How is the jam going to go? That's another question. What is happiness? And how's the song gonna sound? Happiness index of all the nations in the world. Oh, Afghanistan comes at dead last for human rights abuses and lack of freedom. I guess China is towards the bottom too, right? The Chinese Communist Party. They oppress Tibetans, people from Hong Kong, and they kill Muslim Uyghurs and send them to re-education camps to learn the glory of Mao Zedong, who killed millions in the Chinese Civil War. They kicked out Chiang Kai-shek to Taiwan. I'm sure the Chinese happiness level is real low on that list. But what did the United States slip to? Was it like 20? It used to be 11 at its highest point. One of the number 11, the happiest countries. It slipped after the pandemic, after the Chinese plague from Wuhan. Ooh. They didn't. Some people downvoted my parody of Phil Collins. I can feel it coming in the air tonight, Wuhan. They didn't like that one. I can feel it coming in the air tonight, Wuhan. I was like, that was a great one. I've been waiting for this plague all my life, Wuhan. No, the original song is Hold On. Oh, they started to use it for the Monday Night Football, I think. Yeah. It was, they got Chris Stapleton or something to re-sing it. He does a pretty good job trying to emulate Phil Collins. He's a pretty good singer. So, even though he's a country dude and not an Englishman, but I don't hold that against him. I like the country dudes. The country dudes. Country dudes. What's wrong with the country dudes? Are they not as cool as the city slickers? I beg to differ. They have cowboy hats and long beards and cowboy boots. See, I think that shit's pretty cool. But I'm from Texas, so I guess I'm sort of partial to that country cowboy shit. Yeah. I suppose I'm a bit partial. I'm a bit what's the word for it? Besides being partial, I'm kind of fond of it, the country. No, I like the George Carlin analysis of. He does a breakdown of rap and versus country, and he goes, both wear silly hats. He does his breakdown. It was like, I love how he says they both have silly hats. Yeah, I forgot the rest of the comparison and contrast between. I think it was George Carlin. You know, I remember he said they both have silly hats. Masturbation. Yeah. Oh, what was the comparison? Like they said, the rappers they rap about they talk about drugs, and then it was like the country people they talk about alcohol, and then it was like, yeah, it was pretty funny. I don't remember exactly what was so funny about all the George George Carlin's comparisons between rap and country music, but it was pretty hilarious to me. The beverage has run out of beverage. That'd be cool to come out with a place called Beverage. I've often thought about it. What if I came out with a place to get drinks? They don't have to be alcoholic. It could be non-alcoholic place. Call it Beverage. Beverage. But not rage. Sometimes a rage doesn't have to be angry. Sometimes a rage can be like a passion. Right? Because rage usually means like wrath, rage, anger. But sometimes a rage, it's all the rage. Right. It's all the trend. It's all the buzz. Right. Of course. Rage can also mean passion. Excitement. Yes, of course. Heavy emotion. So maybe also. All right. This is how I'm going to the convenience store. Like this. Like, I'm going to say, "What's up, guys?" Yeah. I had to refill the beverage. The beverage. At first, at movie theaters, they had those like old soda dispensers, and then later on, when I would go see movies, they had those badass like automatic way soda dispensers that filled up your cup for you. You didn't have to hold it against the thing. I said, man, this is revolutionary in here. Automatic toilets, you don't have to flush the thing. You just go drain your wizard and it goes shh. Automatic shitters, automatic urinals. Oh, man. Beer in movie theaters? Alcohol in movie theaters? Oh my God. Oh my God. Whoa. And then I went to this AMC, American Multi-Cinema. And it was owned by the Chinese communists for a while. And then the Americans got it back, thank God. And then they had cup holders. And then they had like a recliner at the movie theater. I was like, whoa, you can get a beer and recline and shit. It's like, this is dope. What if you paid extra? You got a seat that went. You got like a rumble seat. That was fucking awesome. And then you had like 3D glasses. And then you had like where they had the Neuralink that went into your brain, went into your cortex, and you're like, oh. You're like, no, they didn't have that. But anyways, they had where they plugged the thing into your matrix, and you're like, oh. That didn't happen, man. That happened in the Matrix. That didn't happen in real life, though. Yeah. About to go to the S.A.W. And then they come up with those theaters where pretty girls suck your dick. You get a blowjob for an extra $20. Oh, maybe I was going to the wrong theaters. Oh yeah. For an extra $20, you get a blowjob. That's a special kind of theater. I think that's an XXX rated theater. Yeah. You don't want to go to those because you might be like, it's a she-bell. Fuck. It's a tranny. Yeah, somebody on one of my streams, they asked me in the chat, they were like, hey, do you agree with Alice Cooper that transsexualism is a fad? Transgenderism? And I said, well, that's his opinion, Is it a fad? He might be right about that. It's a fad. Yeah, it could be. It's not my kind of fad. It's not the fad I would choose. I wish there was a acoustic guitar fad. I wish there was classical music renaissance or something, some other thing. Anything but transgenderism. Or sexual confusion, or sexual identity confusion. Oh, it is so tedious. It is so tedious. Identity politics. Identity, sexual politics, racial politics. It is so tedious. It is so tedious. It is so boring. Let's do something else. Society, please. Yeah, so bunch of crazy leftists trying to destroy Tesla charging stations, Tesla vehicles, and all that, throwing Molotov cocktails at the charging stations and the vehicles, and you know, and one of the guys in Portland or wherever, some leftist city, some leftist communist state, some liberal enclave. They got 20 years. And the guy's like 24. Yeah, he was 24 years old, so they got 20 years. So they get fucking 20 years for throwing Molotov cocktails at Tesla charging stations and vehicles. Was it worth it fighting Elon Musk and Tesla Motors, EV, electric vehicles? Was it worth it going to war against Elon Musk and Donald Trump to get 20 years in jail? That's 20 years off your life, you know. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? You know, I don't think he's gonna think so. He's gonna think, oh man, look at all the shit I missed out on. Look at all the people I missed out on. Look at the money I missed out on. Look at the relationships that I missed out on. Look at what I missed out on. And then he's gonna get out at 44 years old. Maybe he'll get out on good behavior. Maybe he gets out at 38, but whatever. He's still going to be like, damn, my prime years are gone. And now I'm middle age. And now, guess what happens after middle age? Ooh. Yeah. Because after all, falling off a cliff, it's just one slip away. Oh. Did he get back at the man? Did he show the billionaires what's up? Did he get back at the man? Did he give a middle finger to the man? Did he stick his middle finger up the system's anus and rotate it on his finger? No. He just fucking destroyed his future over nothing. Sad. If you're gonna destroy your future, at least do it for something. You know, in a worthy cause. Fighting something really wretched and evil. That's just my opinion. Not everybody feels that way. So how are these guys making bombs and making Molotov cocktails? Well, I guess a Molotov cocktails, you've seen it in the movies, right? So a guy just gets a bottle of accelerant or liquor, and he dips a rag in it, right? I mean, this is like from The Walking Dead or something. And then he just lights that shit up and throws it, right? That's what a Molotov cocktail is, I guess. I mean, you know, Molotov, as in from Russia, during the Soviet Union, I suppose. Maybe it was from the Tsar days. I'm not sure when it began. The Molotov cocktails, an unsophisticated weapon. It's just fire and a bottle. You know, it's basically just throwing something on fire at somebody, basically, or some place. That's basically what it is. Now, more advanced bomb matrices use physics and engineering to create their destructive power. And so physics. So physics is reactions. Physics, chemistry, they're reactions that happen. And so unintentional physics. So somebody creates a bunch of pressure in an object and they don't want to, and then it explodes. And that could be like a can of soda, shake it up, and the pressure builds and builds. And then when it's unleashed, it goes, explodes everywhere. That's science of pressure, atmosphere. Um, the science of weapon making. You know, it's just simple chemistry and physics. You know, so I have no interest in that. I'm just interested in the science. But just chemistry and physics, right? And usually when an accident happens in a home, it's because of physics and chemistry. You know, different pressures melting down, and they're disruptive and chaotic, and it's a like entropy. It's disorder. It's basically what it is. So it's an entropic state. What's going on? The entropy of the state, the disorder, increases. No, attacks on Tesla and Elon Musk make me want to obtain the funds to buy a Tesla. I saw this white car driving down the street. It was not a Tesla. It was like some advanced sports car, but it looked like a shark. It was white and it had almost like gills. It had I don't know what kind of brand it was, but it was like, or what kind of model, what kind of make, but it looked like a shark, but not blue on the outside, not with it, but it looked like it had gills, like it was aerodynamic, like a shark. It was like a fucking shark. And I looked at it, and it was white, and it was like bone-like, and it was like ancient looking, and it was just fucking amazing. And I suppose they, you know, from growing up watching Batman movies, people think, oh, I need my vehicle to be dark black to be intimidating. But isn't white calcite bones, isn't that scarier than, say, black vehicles or dark vehicles? I mean, think about something dead and ancient and evil. It doesn't have to be black. It doesn't have to be dark. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like the Batmobile. It could be bright. It could be white. It could be looking like a shark in the water. It could. That looks stealth. That looks intimidating. And that's what I saw today. I don't know what model it was, but it really impressed me. I saw the design today, and I said, wow, that's aerodynamic. It looks like a shark. And that really, it looked like a predator, the vehicle. It was perfect design, like almost borrowed from nature, from aquatics, from the ocean, from the shark. And it was just beautiful. Yeah. Of course, now usually what happens is if someone has a sports car, that means they're showing it off that day, because this was one of the most beautiful days in Texas history, just about. And so that's why all the people were out in their sports cars. It's probably some old fat dude with man tits and, you know, having a midlife crisis or something. But anyways, you know, you can't stop. Say, hey, what model is that? That's so badass. You know, I probably can't afford it anyways. You probably need, what, $1 million for what he was driving, or maybe $500,000 or something. But anyways, it'd be nice to know what it is, at least. Now, for the older guys that do jog around in the neighborhood and take off their shirts, they're like 70, 80, 90. I don't want to see your tits. Like, I do not want to see your tits. So please stop doing that, please. So I'd like to say, I don't take off my shirt and go jogging now. All right. But some of these guys, they're showing their titties out there, and I'm just not down with it. So stop doing that. Oh, man. Some guys are showing their tete-tes, their wrinkly pecs, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to see that, dude. Please wear a fucking shirt. So they're not gonna do it. Old guys are gonna take off their shirts, but I'm like, dude, you're not on Baywatch. You're fucking 70 years old. Please, no more eye torture for me. Drive around in the shark-looking sports cars, but don't show me your sweaty tits while I'm out there on the trail, please. Please, for the love of God, spare me. Spare my occipital lobe, my visual cortex, please. Please, God. Thank you. I see enough man boobs in the world. I don't want to see. Oh, do they have a man boob strip club? Man booby. I hope not. Yeah, it's called, the club down the road's called the Gregory Peck. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, we have to embark on the mission to the food store. So that's our mission for tonight. The Texas two-step lottery is $1.1 million. Oh, man. What would I do with that? Would it be like Phu Kyun in Klein High School history, the class clown? The Vietnamese guy, and he said, Miss No, when I get $1 million, I smoke a lot of weed. I don't know. Miss No, why are you always trying to bring down the yellow man? It's always making me laugh. Phu Kyun. Phu Kyun. Thank you. And then when I got older and I saw him out, I'd say, Fook, what's up? And he'd go, I don't know you. Like, he'd act like he was too cool for me. He's like, my family's rich. I don't fucking know you, poor man. I don't fucking know poor people. I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't know working class people. He's like, I don't know struggling working class people. Fuck off. I'm in a higher tax bracket. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Probably too much love for my high school friends, right? My high school compadres. Yeah, probably too much nostalgia for that. Yeah. Because, like, sometimes they wouldn't reciprocate the love. I'd say, hey, dude, Eddie! And he'd say, like, what? Oh, we went to school together? Really? I was like, Fook, what's up? And he's like, could, for once, some motherfucker from a high school just come up, Scotty, and give me a hug or something? I mean, come on, guys. It's not that hard. It's not gay. It's just, come on. Yeah. Just give a shout out from Klein High School, dog. From the OG. Motherfuckers today. Well, they think that hanging out with their homies is gonna be anti-masculine or something. They're insecure about their manhood. Like, well, if I express love for this man, people might think I'm homosexual or something. Some bullshit. Come on, guys. No, if you hug your brothers, that means you're secure in your masculinity. You're secure in your sexuality. It doesn't mean the opposite of that, guys. Jesus. Oh, well, people have homophobia. I get it. Reminds me of the time some guy was stocking up the eggnog for the season at this CVS pharmacy I worked at, and it's a black dude, and he was stocking up the shit. And I said, "Hey, you like the eggnog?" And he goes, "I ain't no woman. I ain't no woman." I go, "No, no, no. I'm not